Let's go. Yeah. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Tony, aka TTBurger 88, bringing you more videos here. And the Christmas season is still upon us here, and the New Year will be upon us very, very soon here. And what a way to end the year 2023 with the best games and the worst games of the year 2023. The year for 2023 brought us some interesting gaming titles here and stuff like that, and brought some surprises here. But of course, there are also some negatives there too, and games that could have been fun. But in the end, though, it was a good year and a bad year for gaming, depending on what games you were inspired to look forward to. Right now, for this video, we're gonna look at my worst games of the year 2023. These are games 1 through 10 here. 1 being at the bottom and 10 being at the top. That's how I do my lists here. And I hope you all are having a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays here. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support you have given this channel and everything like that. So without further ado here, we must get started with the first game here on the list here. Number 1, Forspoken. Now, Forspoken was a highly acclaimed game that people were waiting for, and people were having high expectations and everything like that. And it had an interesting idea, interesting setting, so that had interesting cool character named Frey and stuff, Frey or Fry, however you pronounce it. And it had potential, but unfortunately though, the game did not live up to the expectations here. It was like you were traveling through these empty worlds, and like combat just felt kind of bland and everything. And you know, it had a very slow start, and like, you know, it just by the time you get used to the game and everything, the game ends and that, and so there was not a lot of care and effort that went into the game. And you know, this was a PlayStation 5 and a PC game here and stuff, you know, and you think that, you know, by the beginning of 2023 they were gonna improve with the games and stuff, you know. That wasn't the case here for Forspoken, and because of that, it's what happened here with here, and you know, just it's gonna be a game like that gets forgotten about. So I'm sorry, everyone. Number 2, God of Rock, a fighting game with like rhythm-based game elements to it. Like, I mean, an interesting idea to make a fighting game and a rhythm game like Guitar Hero in one, where you put the perfect time buttons to block attacks and do special moves and everything like that. And it has an interesting idea on paper. But the thing is, combining the two genres, it did not go very well, because, you know, two different genres in one just doesn't really work. I mean, it's like, I understand if it was two fighting games like Mortal Kombat and DC, which I wasn't a big fan, but I know people liked it and stuff. And, you know, like they make like a Marvel vs. Capcom or something like that. Like those things combined are interesting. But the problem is these two elements don't work, and it's mostly frustrating and uninteresting and stuff, you know. And the strategy of the special moves is similar to Street Fighter, and I am not a fan of Street Fighter games. I was never a fan of Capcom fighting games because it's really hard to pull off all the special moves and everything like that. I wasn't a fan of it, you know. And just in the end, though, it's a very easy game, and you know, it has online multiplayer too for people who want to play online for that. But for the most part, though, it's just a very unbalanced game that could have been better. But you know, I give them credit for trying. But you know, Modus Studio games, Brazil and stuff like that just didn't really, they tried, but it just didn't work. I'm sorry. Number 3, Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, everyone was looking forward to this game, and there are people who love this game and everything, and you know, I didn't like it because, you know, the way they changed everything around. They changed Leon around, they changed Ashley around, they changed Lewis around, and Ada around, stuff, you know. Capcom, enough with the Resident Evil remakes, okay? You already remade 2 and 3, and those were terrible, and now you make Resident Evil 4 remake here, and there's room you're making Code Veronica remake. Enough of the remakes already, Capcom. I understand the big selling factor there along with Street Fighter, but you know, why don't you make a new IP instead of making all these remakes all the time? I mean, Resident Evil 4, I mean, it was a great game. The original Resident Evil 4 was a great game, but it wasn't my favorite Resident Evil game. But playing that game is 10 times better than playing this shitty remake. And you know, and I'm just sick of Leon getting all the fame all the time, and just focus on a new character, make a new Resident Evil game or so. But you know, they won't, because there's a possible new remake game they're working on. So yeah, and you know, I know people are gonna get mad at me for saying that, but you know, it's my opinion in the end, and I just want you all to respect my opinion. That's all. Number 4, Redfall. Yeah, Redfall, a first-person shooter by Bethesda. You know, Bethesda's known for making games such as Oblivion and Skyrim, Fallout, and stuff and everything. And seriously though, a first-person shooter by Bethesda with vampires and everything like that, and with an uninteresting, bland story that makes the characters just seem you don't really care for the characters, and you know, it's just playing the same time missions over and over again, and playing the single player is just a boring mess all around. It's like it's like there's vampires all over the place, it's fine, but it seems like they're trying way too hard to push the vampires here in the game. It's like it's trying way too hard. It's an underdeveloped, uninspiring first-person shooter with bland missions and just boring combat, you know, and there's also some gameplay glitches too and stuff. And it's just a game that needed more work on. It felt like it was rushed out the door to get out in time for the spring-summer season. And when you rush a game, it's gonna have all those problems because you don't think, and then you gotta wait for an update, and there's gonna be released another version with all the fixed issues like that. So yeah, should I continue? Well, I can't. So I'm moving on to the next game. Number 5, Wanted Dead by Team Ninja. This game came out of nowhere and surprised everyone. And you think, oh cool, a game like the Ninja Gaiden games on the Xbox and Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. I mean, how could you go wrong with that? Gee, I don't know. How about repetitive, easy gameplay, unlikable characters? The main character is a snotty brat, and it's like it feels like one of those like classic arcade games that tries to be like a classic arcade game and fails miserably because it cares more for presentation than it does for making a good game. I mean, Wanted Dead could have been awesome, but in the end though, you just get a mundane, boring hack and slash combat game with just gameplay that just isn't really fun at all. So it's like these companies are running out of ideas here, and they're not gonna make games similar to the other games to try and make money, and it's just yeah. Oh well, we gotta continue here. Number 6, Loop 8, Summer of Gods. A heavy story-based JRPG with turn-based battles and stuff, which is like reading through text and selecting which dialogue option you want with multiple paths with ending stuff to occur, and also this time management thing that with a counter system and stuff, with various actions that change the game and everything, and it changes the characters' moods and everything, and when the story changes too. But you know, I just didn't really care for the story at all. I didn't care for the main character. I didn't care. I didn't really care for this and stuff. You know, just I don't know. I mean, it's just a very mediocre RPG with repetitive and frustrating gameplay elements here, and you know, it never really has great ideas that just don't seem to blend well or come together. And you know, these conversations here are not very interesting thing too, and the events like appear out of order too, so it's kind of hard to follow the story. Their Life 6 had this happen to them, so you're getting a game that's kind of like all over the place when it comes to story and everything, and you know, I just didn't care for this. I'm sorry. Number 7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Another Call of Duty game, and the Call of Duty games are getting worse and worse every single year. Same thing, same type of story, same gameplay elements. We gotta buy maps, buy DLC, buy loot box microtransactions again. It's getting old. Enough with this shit. How would you release the full game on one disc? Oh wait, they're not going to do that because you wanna know why? Money! Money, money, money. That's why they're making this, why they're doing this. So that's why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is number 7 on this list, and I really thought this was gonna be the top worst game of the year, but that wasn't the case though. But let's continue now. Number 8, Crime Boss, Rockhay City, a first-person shooter game by In-Game Studios and 505 Games, where you assemble a team of criminals and send them on missions to steal and stuff and defeat enemies and everything like that. And it has big name actors such as Michael Madsen, Chuck Norris, Danny Trejo, Danny Glover, Michael Rooker, Kim Basinger, Vanilla Ice, and Damon Poiter. And, you know, it seemed like they were trying to reach for potential here with this. But the higher your voice cast did not do a good job at all. The stealth system is overly sensitive, and it doesn't really work the best, and it prompts players to get used to the shooting when there's stealthing going on here. And this was, I mean, like, Payday the heist, like, it's just according to what Alice Bell of Rock Paper Shotgun said, that she compared this to Payday, a 12-year-old game in 2023, and it was buggy and boring, and the plot and the characters were just not really well done, despite the talented voice cast and everything. And, you know, just no matter what kind of voice cast you have or as the big actors you have, it doesn't hide shallow gameplay and frustrating elements and stuff and everything, which is why we got what we did. Number 2, Grey Hill Incident, a first-person shooter with aliens involved and stuff. Like, I've never seen this done before, where you play as a conspiracy theorist whose son is abducted by aliens, and it's similar to those games like those movies, like they had back there, like the alien movie stuff and everything like that and stuff. We'll try to take it there, and you must do stealth mechanics to evade the aliens, and you hide in cars, and you must complete quests and everything like that to help the residents and stuff, to help find your son. And you can use a baseball bat and a revolver with limited ammo and stuff, and use a flashlight too. I mean, like, aliens taking over, but you know, don't we already have Area 51 on the PlayStation 2, and we got like Alien Trilogy on the PlayStation, which are much better than this, and there was an Alien Isolation game on the PS4 as well. That was better than this. And, you know, it's tedious, boring, unsatisfying, with a lot of bugs, and it had opportunity, but it failed miserably here in this department as well. Now we're on to the final game here, and before I can even get started here, may I have a drum roll, please? Where is my drum roll? Give me my drum roll, please. We've been doing this for 8 years now, and you still can't, 9 years now, you still can't get the drum roll right. Let's continue on with the worst game of the year 2023, number 10. The Lord of the Rings Golem. Probably considered the worst Lord of the Rings game ever made. And, you know, I kind of really thought the idea was going to be really cool, playing as a golem here like Schmeagol and stuff and everything like that. But the problem is, it doesn't really feel like you are the golem. It feels like they just made a random game, put it into Lord of the Rings, and called it did a day and everything. And the end result is really a mess. I mean, you watch the game and it just looks boring. It's uninspiring, repetitive. You know, J.J.R. Tolkien would never create a story like this ever. And, you know, there's terrible camera movement, there's a lot of bugs, and it makes the game almost unplayable. It's unstable, the controls are very stiff, and, you know, there's like just boring missions and objectives that just like it's like follow this person, or follow the leader, or go get an item, or stand by there and just complete it there. That's all you do. And, you know, the game is 8 hours, like 8-10 hours long, and it's a boring mess. And there's like freezing issues, lag issues, and everything, where it just, they really flopped here, big time, really flopped here. And the PS5 version is considered the worst version of the bunch, while the Xbox Series X version is considered the best. But in there, the game is just not very fun. And I feel sorry for people who thought this game was going to be fun, but it's terrible. Don't play it. Don't play it at all, people. I'm sorry. Don't play it. Don't play any of these games unless they're awful. And that's what I gotta say. These are my 10 worst games of the year 2023. But that's not all, though. Next up, we're gonna look at the 10 best games of the year 2023, all handpicked by me, and we'll go from 1 to 10, 1 being the bottom and 10 being at the top. That's what we're gonna say here for the next episode, next part here, next video. So until then, everybody, this is Tony. Peace out. Have a great day. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. See you in the next video. Take care, everybody.
ran into some trouble when I stole an SUV. But I'm trying to stay humble, so I'm praying on my knees, 'cause I'm begging Santa brought me what I wanted, Santa please. I wanna be